Hey everybody, Dave here. Today I'm doing some more C# practice. Last time we did sum of multiples and it went fantastic. I read the instructions properly. Like I came up with a solution on my own without using the way that like really you're supposed to do it, which I always think is fun. And then I used link at the end to replace like 25 lines of code with just one line of code. And I didn't even have to write a link query. It was just calling the distinct function and the sum function. Today is going to be accumulate. Implement the accumulate operation, which given a collection and an operation, can't read the rest of it. So let's go in here. It says it's easy. Implement the accumulate operation, which given a collection and an operation to perform on each element of the collection returns a new collection containing the result of applying that operation to each element of the input collection. You know, I read these instructions and I swear the first time I read the paragraph, I have no idea what they just said. And then I go look at the example and then I come back and I'm like, no, I don't get it. And then I go do the exercise anyways. Given the collection of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the operation, square a number. This looks like the, what's that called? Is this a lambda expression? Tell me if that's a lambda expression. I don't know. Maybe that's not that big of a deal. So if I understand this right, x is the input to this, and then it's x times x. Your code should be able to produce the collection of squares 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. What? Because it's squaring them. Is that why it's called a square? Because you're actually creating a square? I never realized that before. Don't worry, I'm a professional. I've seen everything before. Check out the test suite to see the expected function signature. So it's okay to look at the test cases beforehand? I was supposed to do that this whole time? Every time, whatchamacallit? Okay, I sorry, I haven't read that far, but I saw whatchamacallit. Keep your hands off that collect map, fmap, whatchamacallit functionality provided by your standard library. Solve this one yourself using other basic tools instead. To be more specific, you are not allowed to use any of the built-in link methods. Oh man, that's exciting. Okay, you know I'm down. You know I'm down for it. Whatever they say, you're not allowed to use the advanced features of the language. Laziness test. Since accumulate returns an IEnumerable, its execution is deferred until toList is called on it, which is tested with the accumulate is lazy method. Oh man. Okay. This, I'm going to have to Google for this because I do not, oh wow. I think we are doing Lambda expressions. Is that what I'm doing? It's no time like the present to learn. I'm telling my future self this. Also people who are watching, if anybody's watching this, I have no idea how to solve this. I can see that it's supposed to return an IEnumerable. I don't know what probably U is just an incremented character. Because whenever you refer to like a generic type, you use the letter T. And then if you have a second type, then you go to U because it's the next letter in the alphabet. Okay, so that makes sense. What is happening here? IEnumerable U accumulate. I don't understand why there's a type designation here. And then it says this IEnumerable collection. So when you call this, you're actually, it's a dot operation. That's okay. It's an extension method. That makes sense. But is it like overwriting, or is this like we're creating a new extension method that didn't exist before? Okay. I think how it's working here. I haven't looked anything up still. I'm just guessing. I think that accumulate, it's saying like, since we have this is a generics, like a collection generics identifier or something. And it doesn't matter what the type is. It has to be two different types here, I guess. I mean, it could be like integer and string, maybe. Who decided that this was supposed to be marked easy? Probably the contents of this is not supposed to be all that complicated, and that's why it's easy. So I think what I need to do is I'm going to Google like Lambda expressions or unnamed anonymous functions. I'm just going to Google some of that and hope that it tells me enough to finish this exercise. So I'm on the right track, I think. Once I click into here, and I scroll down and I see something like this that also looks like what I'm looking for, but I don't know if that's going to tell me what I need to know. Oh man, there's that same other thing, the function thing. We're going to see if this, oh, this might be what we need. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading this page. I'm going to keep telling you when I come across something that I've learned. One very small thing that I've learned is that in a lambda expression, which is like, this is a lambda expression, the first part is the parameters. The second part is the body of the expression. So back over here where it showed us like this is a lambda expression. This is the input parameters and this is the body. and you use the Lambda declaration operator to separate the input parameters from the body. That's all I've learned so far. Okay, so I've learned a little bit more, and this is actually getting pretty exciting. So first, I read this paragraph that is just actually unintelligible. I don't know what it means. But what I did learn is that you can, under some circumstances, still don't know what those are, you can take the Lambda expression and set it into a variable. I guess that was kind of part of the whole point. I don't know. I didn't realize this was a thing. So this is like defining the type for this variable for square. I don't know if variable is the right word. It might be, maybe I'm supposed to say, oh no, yeah. It's a variable of a delegate type. Don't know what delegate type means. Still don't know what that means. But basically you can make square become a method. I guess we call it like a static method or something that doesn't have a class, and you're defining it to be a function, which I assume was what func means. I actually don't know why it says int. Okay, the input is int, the output is int. Okay, that actually makes sense because up here it says func and it says t, so your type for your input, and then t result is your output. So func, your input int, output int, and square, and you're setting it. So now here you're like, okay, here's what's going to be, here's the Lambda expression that you want to put into this function, and it's x, which is your input. So here's your input x, and then separates the, this operator separates the input from the body, and then you go x times x, and then the result is going to be of this type. Okay, and I guess what it shows here, basically you just go square, put your, just like any method, your parentheses, your input parameter goes in here. And in this situation, you can only have one input parameter. I don't know how you have multiple. This action thing apparently is the way you can do it. And then your output will just go inside of this right line. Wow. Okay. This is actually helping a lot. I'm going to keep reading this page though, in case there's more information that I need, but I suspect that I might know enough now to go try something out. So I read a little bit further. It didn't help at all. It actually just started confusing me. So I just stopped going forward. I'm going to go back over and try to do something here. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I already knew what this meant. I already knew that this, where it says like this IEnumerable T collection, that's referring to itself. We have the name collection. That's the name of the variable for the input parameter. And then we have a function that we need to perform on that. Okay, func is the name. Func is the name of it. So I should be able to perform func on the collection, and I return an IEnumerable. I don't actually understand though, what's the purpose of that? Like, why does accumulate exist? If they can just pass in whatever function they want to. Okay, implement the accumulate operation, which given a collection and an operation to perform on each element of the collection, returns a new collection containing the results of applying that operation. So maybe this is just saying, as an example, like that somebody might be squaring it, but it's not always going to get squared. I mean, it can't be as simple as something like func collection, right? It's not that simple. I mean, there's no way. Cannot convert from systems outside IEnumerable to T. I think I'm supposed to return a new collection anyways. So let's just do this. Let's go var results equals, how do I make it a new collection? And how do I make it of whatever type? Do I copy the collection? All right, I have been Googling a lot. I came across this website that shows an example that appears very similar to what I'm dealing with. I guess it's a little different, but it's an extension method. It's not an IEnumerable return type, but I don't think that really matters. It does have an input of itself, like the this, and then it's got a function input. It's not the same, but similar to what I've got. And then I saw, like, this is actually what I kind of expected. They created a new list, and then they built a new list based upon whatever they were doing, and they returned that. Now, I think I would have to return it as an IEnumerable or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to define this as an IEnumerable. Anyway, the other thing that occurred to me is that this actually said that the operation that they pass in should be performed on each element of the collection, and then it returns a new collection containing that result. So maybe I'm making this harder than it really has to be. I just wasn't exactly sure what I was supposed to be doing. So this whole like func collection, like that's not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go like, let's do, maybe it's IEnumerable. I'm not sure if this even makes sense. IEnumerable, am I supposed to do IEnumerable T? T is the input, U is the output type. So I think maybe my IEnumerable is supposed to be type U. And then we'll call this output. And then what we'll do is set this to be a new list. Do we do a list? I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be an IEnumerable again. I don't know how that works. So let's just do new list of U like that. At the end, I'm going to return output. And then I think I need to do a for each. Oh, this is really hurting my brain. A for each var item in collection. And if I do var item, I don't have to define what the type is. And then I think I operate on it using the function, maybe. Output.add. Now, okay, do I just use this as like func item like that? And then it gets the result from whatever their operation was, sets it into the output collection, and then we're done? No. Okay, IEnumerable U does not contain a definition for add, and no accessible extension method. Now, okay, I guess the other thing is I'm not sure. If you define this as being your output, can I just go like list, and then when I actually output it, this being set to IEnumerable means it converts my list into, well, not converts, but kind of like casts it upward. There's probably a word there for IEnumerable because IEnumerable is like higher than list. And then whenever somebody calls it, it will do the whole lazy return thing. So if I'm right about that, then I'll run test and it'll just work. There's no way. But accumulate is not lazy, it seems. I don't think I understand how to make this return lazy, like when you do toList or something. So let me Google that. Okay, so I came across this website and I actually have done this before and I just forgot, but I think that the answer I needed was just the yield keyword. So I think I'm supposed to put yield return output. Now it is possible that I'm actually supposed to somehow yield in each side, in each of these, but to me it feels like I'm supposed to build the whole output and then do yield return, but I don't know. Let's see. No. Cannot implicitly convert list U to U. What I just said a little bit ago. Am I supposed to do like this? Oh gosh. No. But that doesn't make sense. Let me go look at this guy's thing again. So, oh, okay. See, that's the problem though. That's one thing that could be misleading me. This guy before, like this is not like a lazy return, a yield return, IEnumerable, whatever. This guy does do an IEnumerable. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. This is IEnumerable and it is supposed to yield return on the number, but it's in a loop, which would match what I'm doing up here. So I'm thinking, I see what's going on. I have a list of type U I was trying to return one down here, but what it actually wants is for me to return a type of U, which would mean I'm not returning the entire output. Matter of fact, I don't even need to create a new list. I just need to do like this, like func item. And then that returns whatever the result is of that specific row because you do yield, you can choose to have it all run on every single row, or if somebody wants to iterate over the IEnumerable with for each or something, then it will work like that. Oh man. This has got to work. I can't imagine any other way. Oh man. That was kind of exciting. I had to seriously learn something new just now, and it wasn't particularly complicated. I feel like I knew it wasn't going to be that many lines of code. I couldn't conceive of a few things. Now I have learned, let's make sure we remember this. We learned that yield can be done inside of a loop, even though it looks counterintuitive, and we didn't use anything special. And I think that was part of the point. It said, don't use link, don't use whatever else. And I don't think we used anything like that. because we didn't use the system.length namespace anyways. All right, so let's go ahead and submit, and I just want to make sure what it thinks that I was supposed to have used here. It gives us this little pop-up. Extension methods, which I think, of course, we had to use. Enumerables, which we had to involve, and Lambdas, so we can't avoid using any of these, actually. We made some serious progress today. Here's what I think, though. I still have no idea when I would use this. I think that I'm never going to use it on my own unless I'm forced to. So hopefully this website forces me to do this more. Otherwise, I'm never going to put that into any application I build or anything, or script or whatever. But at least I understand it now. So if I come across somebody else's code that I need to copy or use or edit, I will understand what's going on. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time when I continue doing C# exercises.